Hey everyone, my name's Ben and welcome to my new YouTube channel, my new little hobby to keep me out of trouble, Ben Does Bushcraft. This is episode 1. The challenge today is to make myself a brew, okay? No gas obviously, using what's around me, gonna get a little fire going with a spark hopefully, and we're gonna have a nice relaxing brew on an ice cold day up in my local woods. Now, what's this all about? Now, you probably, if you found this, you're either one of my friends or my mum, hey guys, or you've been looking through bushcraft videos on YouTube, and basically, whenever you watch those guys are bushcraft ninjas. And rightly so, they're telling you how to do stuff. Well, I'm the opposite. I don't know anything about bushcraft, okay? I'm quite outdoorsy. I used to be in the army. I've got some common sense. I'm quite practical, but as much as I've read the SAS survival handbook since I was a kid, as much as I've watched Ray Mears and Bear Grylls on telly and watched all those videos, the reality is, unless you practice it, you suck. And at the moment, I suck at bushcraft, okay? So what am I doing about it? Well, number 1, I've done some reading, I've watched some videos. Number 2, Santa bought me an axe, okay, and a few other bits and bobs just to start off on this little journey. And what I want to do is just some short fun videos where each time I'm going to learn something, hopefully, and if I don't get it right, then at least I'm going to learn through my mistakes. So I'm going to share this journey with you. So no further ado, I'm going to get this firewood sorted, okay, and we're going to see if I can get a fire going so I can have a nice hot cup of tea on a freezing cold day. So this is my little camp spot that I selected. The reason I selected it was because of this. And as you're about to see, this is a dead tree, perfectly vertical. And so I chopped it down, which is way harder than I expected. And then from that, I can get my firewood. Now, one of the things I don't know anything about at the moment is types of tree. I'm suspecting from how hard work it was that this is a hardwood. It's going to be bloody hard to get it to light fire, but that's all part of what we're doing. What I've done is, because I'm going to be coming up here regularly, I'm going to try and keep using this spot, it's a quiet spot, is I've also stashed the remainder of the tree as vertically as I can in here so it remains dry. So each time I come up here, I can harvest some firewood and I know where it is, and I can just keep chipping away at it and improving my axe and knife skills. One of the things I want to do as part of this is develop some skills with my tools, because it's all very well having a nice Hulfators axe from Sweden, but if I can't use it, if I'm not effective with it, can't keep it sharp, then actually you're just trying to buy your way into bushcraft, where it's all about doing this and practicing. So one of the things I've seen on YouTube is a way of splitting logs, because I could just put it on there and have a whack, but especially with this triangle one, probably going to ping off somewhere, I'm probably going to miss. So the technique I've been showing you, lay it on here and you squeeze the end here, and what this does is it means you can't pinch your fingers and you can't hopefully miss. Nearly there. This wood is way tougher than I expected. I'm wondering, I think, like I said, I don't know much about the trees at the moment, about what's what. I'm suspecting this is going to be pretty hard to light. Get my excuses in early. I think it's this knot here that's giving me some trouble. inevitably all these were pretty straightforward, but I didn't film those. But then again, that's what this is all about. I told you, I suck at bushcraft, but I don't want to. Yeah, that's a problem. Oops. But yeah, I've split my logs. So this is also a new addition. This is a little billy can for cooking over an open fire. It's a zebra can, as recommended by Ray Mears. So if he says it's good, it must be good. So we're going to whip it out. We're going to put up a stick to hang it over where my fire is hopefully eventually going to be. So I think the temperature now, I mean the sun's pretty low, is about 0 or maybe a little lower, and it's really tricky to figure out what's actually dry and what's damp, just because everything's so cold. So, you know, me trying to actually source proper tinder that's going to take a spark, I think I'm going to leave that for another day. So I'd quite like this cup of tea before it gets dark. But what I am going to do is I'm going to create some kindling that's then going to work, hopefully, with some like natural firelighters that I bought that are going to hopefully take a spark, and then that's going to all work together. So it's going to shave off some bits of this. I'm pretty sure this is dry, but again, it is tricky for me to tell because it's so cold. Again, this was another Christmas present. Okay, I got myself all kitted up this Christmas just with a few bits. I got axe, a knife, and a folding saw. Without realising as well, everything's Swedish. Could have been Norwegian, whatever, but why not? Sweden seems nice. So I'm gonna hope to shave some bits off of this and use these to get my fire going. I'm also just going to take some shavings from this, the actual split wood that I've done, and see if how this works. It's a lot easier. This is my fire lighting kit that I've got, at least to start with. We'll see how it goes. So in case it all goes tits up, got an old turbo flame. I've had this probably about 20 years. I think it's got gas in it. Then again, things really aren't going well. There's some fire lighters from the barbecue, and I've got a little pot here with some bits of like rubber and stuff like that I cut off some old bike tires. So I read that rubber can be quite good, especially in a wet environment. You can light it with a lighter. The only thing is this is like in 1, 2, 3 plastic bags, and the firelighters still make everything else in the bag smell like it somehow escapes through the plastic, which is minging. So I might ditch those for something else, because anyway, that is the backup, because the main event is waterproofed in here. 2 things. Number 1, there's a little Gerber striker, and then I've got this stuff here. Oh, just one bit, and this is like a Norwegian traditional fire lighting stuff that again I just found on Amazon. I thought, well, it feels a bit more bushcrafty, feels a bit more natural rather than just putting petrol on it or something. So yeah, this is hopefully going to take a spark. It's kind of papery. The outside's quite firm, with like a waxy resin on it, which I assume is the accelerant. And then the inside, if I split it open, the middle, oh, is quite downy. And that is where I'm going to try and put the spark. So this is pretty simple. It's just a little layer of sticks to keep it off the damp floor. Then I've got those shavings. Then I've got that firelighter tinder that's hopefully going to take a spark. And then over here, I've got a pile of, again, what I think is pretty dry material to get things going. And then I've got that going, that wood there, which is what ultimately I'm hoping to cook over. So I guess that's a good place to wrap up video 1. This is my cup of tea still. There's a load of cold water in my billy can. So lessons learned. Number 1, I should have bought more of the Norwegian firelighter stuff. I only bought a little strip of it. Probably should have bought at least twice as much, and that would have bought me some more time, and it would have put more energy into the fire. And then the second thing I need to do is select better tinder and kindling and like all that fine stuff. Like I need to spend a bit more time learning about the materials in this local wood, so I pick the right stuff. It didn't help, you know, when it's sub-zero, it's harder to start a fire. I'm giving myself a little bit of a break, and I did get it started, but keeping it going proved to be a problem. And there is problem number 3, is carrying those barbecue firelighters, which I talked about smelling. I think the reason they were smelling and stinking my bag out is because all the flammable stuff had come out of them. And so then I put it on and it didn't do anything. It's still there. So I'm gonna have to take it home so I don't litter, which is a bit frustrating, but they're going in the bin, and I'm gonna have to bring a better backup plan, I think. So yeah, join me in episode 2 where I will make a cup of tea. Thanks for watching Ben Does Bushcraft.